appears to be a massive train going down the middle of the street. Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the south, more specifically Augusta, Georgia. And even more specifically than that, I'm in front of Pexcho's Dime Museum. This is a classic style dime museum. A museum not about dimes. I've actually had people say that a dime museum was a museum where you look at different dimes. That is not the case. It is a form of the sideshow, a permanent sideshow exhibit that at one point would charge a dime. I imagine they may charge at least 12 cents nowadays. But there was a classic dime museum in Baltimore that no longer exists. They opened a dime museum in Gettysburg. It only lasted a couple years. And now they have Pexcho's Dime Museum here in Augusta, Georgia, that only opened this year. So follow me. Yeah, seriously, there is just a giant train down the middle of the street. I don't think I've ever seen that before. What the heck? Very rarely do you find a place that advertises both freaks and cappuccino.
Get going.
Alright, so we got the shrunken heads right there, and up there it's a super creepy guitar made out of human head. What did you say that was called?
The humans, it's called a kissar.
A kissar?
Antelope horns, deerskin resonator, human skull, and human hair.
Wow.
The local artist made that. The story on that is it's the devil went down to Georgia and the folks didn't like that he beat the devil, so they beat him up and knocked his teeth out. And that's supposedly one of the guy's teeth.
Oh,
but
wow.
in fact, it's one of the artist's tooth he yanked out of his head and put in there for us.
Just put his own tooth right in there?
He gave it to us.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
There's the lobster boy. He's re-articulated from lobster parts.
Occurring unicorns. They're born this way, they live this way, they die that way. This is a peanut head moth. Again,
Peanut
born
head
this
moth.
way, lives this way, dies this way. These facts are 100% true on the peanut head moth.
So let's see, the peanut moth, they cannot bite because of its strong mouth, sprays a skunk-like stench when threatened.
Now this is a slapstick. This is where slapstick comedy gets its name from.
All right, there we go. So that's the slapstick, and they would load, like load a bullet.
Down in here, a .32 caliber blank.
And then hit someone with it, and it would make a big bang. Hilarious. It's a two-headed baby there.
And then this is our dolphin boy. And we had a family in here. The little boy was 5 and the sister was 8. And to the little boy, this was the only piece in our museum. He said that it's fake. But everything else he believed was real. And when we were researching moles, we found out that they were a solitary creature. And then when two males met up, they'd fight ferociously. And when a male and female met up, they'd court each other, fall in love, have babies, and go their separate ways. But we know for a fact these guys right here are not males. And the reason why we know they're not males is they don't have boxing gloves on. So that is a camel crap cooker. It's made entirely of camel crap.
Okay, so it's made of camel crap.
Correct.
It doesn't actually cook
No,
camel
your food
crap.
probably just tastes like crap, but it definitely, that was your fuel source. So you put kindling in the bottom and then start it up. And that does come from the Baltimore Dime Museum also. This is the only time you can touch something. This is a hippo's foot.
Oh. Hippo's foot.
And what we're trying to do is soften the leather up with your oils and sweat. So that way one day we can reform it and put it in a box and no one will ever touch it again. These are some Victorian toys your parents could have bought you, or you could have won them at the carnival. And a lady was in here from California and I I've never looked at these with my glasses on, and she's like, you do know those teeth in there are from house cats. And I was like, what? So I quickly grabbed my microscope and I looked at it, and sure enough, they're house cats.
These real cat teeth?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's interesting.
It made me fall in love with the Victorians even more. You know, it's like, honey, our kids' toys need teeth. Where do we find them? And then you're like,
the cat.
go get the cat, honey. And then in this case, we have 3 human hair chain fobs. And then those are not mourning pieces. Those are just fun, crafty things we did with our hair. And this is a mineral deposit from the mountains of Egypt. And they would weep out in the shape of human nuts. And that's how they get a Pharaoh's envy. And in the center here, we do have some glass candy containers. And it taught our children how to put a weapon to their face and empty the contents.
So yeah, put a gun into your mouth because it's delicious.
It is. You know it was. Up top, we do have a bull penis walking cane. And my eldest son, the only thing he could get out of that is, Dad, that must have been a really short person. I need that cane. Up top, we do have some souvenirs from Chang and Eng, Daniel Lambert, the Fat Man, and Tex the Texas Giant with Tom Thumb. So you must know how to text. Well, this is a vintage text opener there, made of mother of pearl and a baby deer's foot.
Vintage text opener. It's a tiny little deer.
There.
That's right there.
Yeah, that's a beautiful Victorian leopard collar there. And that does come from the American Dime Museum in Baltimore. And these are some swordfish swords there. This is Jenny Hanifer. And we do not know who Jenny Hanifer is, but we do know how and why she was made. She was made by sailors that couldn't sail anymore, whether they got too old or hurt. They would catch these skates, cut them up, dry them, and then sell them to tourists on the docks as seeding. And so now we're told throughout life where pepperoni comes from. It's pieces and parts of different animals ground up and stuffed into the intestines of another animal. Please don't believe it. It's all a lie. It comes from this guy right here, Pepperonius weaselus. You just sneak up on him and knock him on the head and rip his fur off, and then you have a piece of pepperoni and you slice it.
Take slices.
There you go. See, you've already done this.
Pepperoni weaselus.
And this is our nursery. And I do love babies. We do have an adult ostrich foot next to the baby just for size comparison. And when I showed that to a couple like 3 weeks ago, they said, well, we have a baby emu if you would like it. And there it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just got to get a case made for it. So that was very exciting. And this is a French fox, and we know he's French because of the attitude he's giving you. And that's a South African porcupine, an American deer, and then we do have an ocelot hat in there. This is our duck, and questionable goose up there.
What happened to that goose?
He's awesome.
So it's like a goose head with...
Not even the wings. I don't even know.
Wow.
But he does have full legs. So, well, at least the bottom of his legs. Now, in the larger dime museums on the upper floors, you can go to the doctor and get a treatment. Now, we call them quacks today, but this was a sport definitely for the wealthy people. Definitely not for a poor person's sport. Electricity has not been in America yet for 100 years. We became all electrified in 1950. So we can celebrate 100 years of electricity come 2050. That's 30 years from now. So go back in time to 1913 and you go into your doctor's office and they turn this on. This is ultraviolet light. It does absolutely nothing for you. You rub your hands and feet on it and it will cure you. And then we do have a violet wand and we do shock people with it.
Little shock?
Sure. Well, this will just hum on you.
It's not too bad.
But then we turn it up and then we'll throw an arc to you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But really, go back in time. Just this sound, this color, not even being electrocuted would have definitely cured you. I mean, the placebo effect is there.
Looks like magic.
It is. It's the devil. What are you talking about? It ain't magic. These are our vampire bats in there. Little puppy dogs. And over here is Boudreaux Joe. He is half human, half alligator.
Boudreaux Joe.
And we do have his daddy in the back. He's over 6 feet long. And when we get done with our building, we'll bring him out and
nice.
Have different parties. A 6-foot Colombian red-tailed boa hiding in there, trying to keep warm. And over this regular starfish with an extra appendage, then a multi-leg starfish, and then a swordfish bill that is not polished. So, These guys were known as geeks, and this type of geek, he would have ate the snake or the rabbit or the chicken. He would have started at the head and ate the entire thing, the fur, the feathers, the bones, the intestines. And the other type of geeks, they would be locked in a cage with a rabbit, with a chicken or a pig, and they would grunt and run around inside the cage, and they would pick the animal up and rip the belly open and take the intestines out and let it run around until it died. And once it died, they would pick it back up and they'd rip the intestines off and throw it at the people in the audience. And for some reason, they outlawed this in the late 1920s.
It's show business.
Yes, exactly. And this is our baby manatee up here. And we had a visitor in, said that's not a manatee, said that's a toddler tea. There's some more medical quackery devices. This is a murder bottle.
A murder bottle?
Yes, it's the Victorian baby bottle. They would drink their milk out of it, and it would have a hose on it with a nipple about that far away. And this is before we knew to boil things and before this wonderful stuff called bleach was invented. So bacteria would grow in the hose, and literally babies died by the thousands just by drinking their milk. And this is an original breast pump that would have got the milk to go into there. And again, you started with your bacteria problem in here in the bulb.
So these are just like mass produced, and then they were just killing babies?
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Now, outlaw body parts were really popular and fun in the Dime Museum. Everyone wanted to see their favorite outlaw's trigger finger or their severed head. And they would tour. Now, Jesse James, when he was caught, captured, and killed, he was put in the Dime Museum circuit. He traveled around until he literally fell apart. So.
Star Labette, the one-armed cattle thief caught in Tucson, Arizona with his pants down. Sweet Sue, 14-piece human torso.
And this is our very rare rooster crow. Makes a lot of noise in the morning. And over here we do have a Homer Tate.
Oh.
And that was his pygmy mummy.
A Homer Tate pygmy mummy.
Yeah.
Yes, Homer Tate was one of the most famous gaff makers, or makers of fake artifacts. He made the Thing out in Arizona, and some believe he also made Jake the Alligator Man out in the Pacific Northwest.
This is a very rare blonde baboon leg lamp. We won up the Christmas Stories leg lamp. And we do have a giant sea monkey. And I'm sure when you feed, nurture, and love your sea monkey, they grow that big. And this is what happens to your 1901 Easter eggs when the UPS man does not take care of your package.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What is this creature right here?
He makes now the second rarest cup of coffee. He's a civet weasel. He makes coffee luwak by eating it and pooping it out. And we will start serving that here as soon as we get more coffee customers.
And then Puddles, the amazing headless duck.
Yeah. Now this is what happens when a farmer loves his pig just a little too much. He makes a little baby girl that didn't live very long.
Oh dear.
And here's our
toads.
Toad and frog department. This is a flesh-eating toad. He hunts in packs of 10 to 15 and can consume a human in less than 5 minutes flat. And this is a bullfrog. That's our poison dart frog. We do have a frog purse, an alligator purse, and an alligator hand ashtray.
It's a bobcat, and here it says bobcats, they hunt small sharks and are cannibalistic. I did not know that, Mr. Bobcat. I did not know that about you. This is an exhibit on Lepetamine. It's actually a famous, believe it or not, famous for farting. He could control his own farts. He's a very popular Victorian era performer in France. And an unbelievable artifact here. That is one of Lepetamine's farts actually preserved in a jar. The world's most famous farter. And there is his fart. Here's 2 cobras locked in deadly combat. Prehistoric flea says I was found in the fur of a woolly mammoth. You can see it's as big as a cow's foot. An awesome experience here at the Dime Museum, the Pexcho's Dime Museum here in Augusta, Georgia, the city that has a train running down the middle of the street. Sorry, It's distracting me. But no, it's awesome museum. They're still building, doing a lot to it. They are currently selling coffee. They have a little coffee shop in the lobby, and then they're going to be building a restaurant section onto the Dime Museum, kind of making it a all-encompassing attraction. Also talked about possibly an Airbnb. So very interesting to see how this already amazing attraction grows. So definitely check this out if you are here in the Augusta area. I absolutely loved it. So if you like to see other places I've been, please check the interactive map in the description. If you would like to help support the channel, consider buying a t-shirt, consider buying a Smash Penny, consider donating to Patreon. $3 more will get you a postcard once a month. All that information is in the description. But for now, until next time, this one's in the bag.